Coming up on Small Town Big Deal.
Here we go, baby.
Setting a world record on the Mackinac Bridge.
Well, this is the way to go over the bridge.
And Rodney's fear of heights gets put to the test.
This is when I grab you and go.
Oh, don't do that.
Then,
Carving out our place in history with President Reagan's saddle maker.
I want one.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal.
we've traveled across the country and firmly believe that the people in small towns are the hands that keep America strong.
So join us, Rodney Miller,
And Jann Carl,
as we show you the great things these people do on Small Town Big Deal. Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jann Carl. We are in the tip of the mitt of Michigan, that is, and across the lake, well, that is the Upper Peninsula, also known as the UP.
And what connects the two is the Mackinac Bridge, the Mighty Mac as it's called, the longest suspension bridge in the Western Hemisphere.
Well, we're going to show you some views in it, of it, and on it that you have never seen before.
And we're going to set a world record up on that bridge.
Let's see, if that involves Rodney Miller and a world record, why am I thinking tractors?
That's a really good guess. They have come from every corner of the country.
Are you excited about tomorrow? Yeah! Woo!
to join their fellow countrymen and women
I'm driving a 1946 Farmall H.
I drove a Massey Harris Mustang.
in taking part in a uniquely American tradition.
Welcome to the Mackinac Bridge Antique Tractor Crossing.
For the last several years, on the weekend after Labor Day, thousands of vintage tractor lovers flock to the two small towns that bookend the bridge, St. Ignace on the north and Mackinac City on the south.
They come to drive low and slow across the historic 5-mile-long suspension bridge. What's the feeling when you get out there on that Mackinac Bridge?
It's a feeling like you just can't describe it. Makes the hair stand up on your arms.
It's humbling, for one thing. I mean, because the Mighty Mac is so impressive and so monumental.
They haul these priceless pieces of Americana here by trailer, by flatbed, or any way they can. So this is your first time, so you come all the way from Alaska. Now, how far is that?
3,500, 4,000, depending on what route you take.
Just 4,000 miles.
Yeah,
I mean,
no big deal.
Some, like Merle, don't even bother with hauling. You drove your tractor all the way from home. I mean, not hauled it, you drove it.
Drove it.
So how many miles is it from your house here?
The way we come, back road, 340 miles.
How long did it take you to drive that tractor 340 miles?
3 days.
Wow.
Bob Baumgrass founded the event in 2007.
I tell you, just to sit here
Yeah.
and to do this and look and to see so many flags and mufflers and smiling faces.
Well, if you walk down through this road right here, this is probably the most people I've ever seen at any of the events.
I can't tell you how excited I am about this. And to make it even more special, they're giving me the honor of leading this parade.
Everybody starts arriving a couple of days before, and the staging area becomes a rainbow sea of tractors.
Of course, we got John Deere and Farmalls and IHs and
Another
Fords,
Ford.
Olivers,
Oh, there's an Oliver up there, yeah.
Cockshut. Now that's a name you don't forget.
Okay, wait. I know, Minneapolis Moline.
Yeah.
Ah!
This is the second tractor I learned to drive, an Oliver Super 77. Mine was a diesel, this is a gas. Mine was a narrow front end, this is a wide front end, but just like that other than that.
So this is totally memory lane.
Totally.
Like all of those taking part, Rodney's got a real passion for these vintage machines, especially the red ones.
I grew up on a farm with IH tractors, so it's kind of in my blood, and I've collected a bunch of them.
Me, I collect antique popcorn poppers. Not exactly an investment item like Rodney's tractors are.
So for Mackinac, Rodney went all out and had a complete restoration done on a very rare IH he found a few years back.
All right, you can take your blindfold off. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And just before this trip, he got his very first look at the finished product.
Oh, wow.
Here it comes.
Only about 20 or so of these 1971 Farmall 544 hydro diesels were ever made. And my thanks go out to my good friend Georgia State Representative Terry England, who handled the restoration.
This is my mental therapy. This is a lot better than paying someone to lay on a couch somewhere.
What do you think?
I'm thrilled. I cannot wait to ride it in a parade and go across the Mackinac Bridge.
And after a 1,000-mile trek up to Michigan from his home in Georgia, Rodney is ready to tackle crossing this iconic Michigan landmark that took over 3 years to build.
Just listen to these facts and figures.
There are 42,000 miles of wire in the bridge's main suspension cables. I mean, that's a lot of wire.
It is. And when they paint it, it takes them 7 years to complete it.
That's some job security. And the top of the towers are 552 feet above the water.
And it's actually designed to move.
And it does.
Yeah.
When we get high winds, when our winds are in the 60+ miles per hour, the very center of the bridge can move up to 35 feet.
Whoa, did he just say 35 feet?
Its design was influenced by lessons learned after the epic failure of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge in 1940. That suspension bridge, nicknamed Galloping Gertie, dramatically collapsed from winds of just 40 miles per hour. What is the highest wind the bridge has ever taken?
You know, I think we're somewhere in the 130-mile-an-hour range.
Does that make you nervous?
Not at all. You know, the good news is the bridge is still standing and withstood those winds.
No cracks.
Yeah, no cracks.
Whether it's wind or heights, there are those who just can't bring themselves to make the drive across.
Some people who are afraid of heights, I won't mention any names, they actually can have an escort or somebody helps them. Explain that program.
Yeah, we have staff 24/7 here. So if you just show up and you're kind of anxious, we have a phone booth at the south end. You can call us up and within 5 minutes we'll have a guy down there driving you north across the bridge.
That's pretty awesome.
When we come back,
Rodney's fear of heights gets put to the test, 552 feet up.
This is when I grab you and go,
oh, don't do that.
I didn't.
And then, head 'em up, move 'em out, setting a new record on the Mighty Mac. Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal.
Okay, so here's what I found out. In the South Tower there of the Mighty Mac, they have an elevator that'll take us to the top.
Oh no.
Oh no, no, or oh no, yes.
Oh, that's awful high.
You don't like heights. Hey, it's only 550 feet above the lake there.
Oh, well, if you put it like that, well, sure.
I think that's a yes.
It is not too much of a stretch to say that Rodney was a little apprehensive about going to the top of the Mighty Mac.
This is a little nerve-wracking, I gotta admit. I'm nervous even on the deck here.
I think the fact that I was going in with no hesitation made him want to go.
Jan's gonna do it, so I gotta do it.
Access is through a little bulkhead kind of door.
Okay, well, I'm going in here. Good luck with that expanding bridge thing.
Yeah, right. See ya. Then into an elevator so small, we have to make 2 trips. Okay, here I go. Jan and our cameraman, Tony, head up first. Can't believe what I get myself into sometimes. And I follow a few minutes later.
40 stories later, we emerge into a maze of hatches and ladders that we have to navigate to get us to the top.
Okay, so all I can say is construction workers in the 50s had to have been little and they did not have my hips because we had to go through these little tiny holes and straight up these ladders and like through this submarine kind of thing. It was kind of cool. Hey!
And then, like a gopher poking its head out of a hole.
Oh God.
Hey, did you just call me a gopher?
Whoa. This is awesome.
Breathtaking, 552 feet up. A 9-foot wide deck with only a 3-foot high railing. Time for my happy dance.
Woohoo!
Oh, wait a minute. Where's Rodney?
I'm at the top of the Mackinac Bridge. Not sure if I'm gonna get out of this thing, but I'm here. Truth be known, I almost had a panic attack. I didn't think I could get out.
You okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Sure. Do I look okay?
So I really wasn't sure what was going to happen when he first popped his head out. You know what? Seemed okay. Sat there for a while.
This is quite a view.
Stood up.
You know, after I've been up here 15, 20 minutes, I'm really glad we did this.
And he got up of his hands and knees?
I wasn't on my hands and knees very long. I'm not going to deny that I was for a while. But it feels pretty good now. See, no hands. And yeah. I'm so glad, because how many people get to do this? Almost none.
Making the trip up with us, steeplejack Todd Mayer.
Todd, how long have you worked here?
14 years.
14. Now, were you nervous the first time you came up?
I was excited the first time I came up here.
That's what I was. I was excited.
I was excited.
Is there a lot of pride for you to work here on the Mighty Mac?
Absolutely. There's only one bridge like it. Yeah, and it's definitely a Michigan icon, to say the least. You know,
sure.
It connects upper and lower Michigan, and what an incredible thing it is in itself, you know.
Yeah, you know, I've heard of this bridge my whole life, and it's just like I never dreamed I would be standing on one of the towers. You know, I mean, really.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's
pretty cool.
Pretty great opportunity.
Now, as spectacular
And a little terrifying
as it is to be on top,
it's the idea of crossing the bridge that's really got my heart racing.
So the next day, bright and early.
nothing like the smell of gasoline in the morning.
Actually, that's diesel, Jan. Anyway, I always wanted to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. We've got a bridge to cross.
Here we go, baby. Leading the largest tractor parade in the history of the world. Doesn't get any better than that.
As we depart the staging area, you might notice Rodney and I aren't riding together.
So there are rules. You have to have an officially approved buddy seat to ride side by side. And Rodney didn't have one, and I didn't want him to touch or change that newly restored tractor. Wanted him to enjoy it all by himself.
Now, this is a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Okay, wave to the camera, Howard. It's mine. Bye.
I ride with my new friend Howard on his vintage John Deere. I thought it was a great way to honor my dad, Don, who worked for Deere & Company for 30 years. But I wasn't the only one thinking about Dad this morning.
I wonder what my dad would think today. He never drove in a tractor ride, but almost 1,400 tractors. Wow. Quite an honor.
The drivers aren't the only ones enjoying all this. Bystanders wave us on as they watch history roll by.
Here we are. We're starting to head up onto the Mackinac Bridge.
Oh boy, here we go.
As we begin the 5-mile drive across, I know that every single person making the crossing has a story of America to tell.
I've got one here that my granddad bought new in 1947, and this will be the 3rd time it's been across the bridge. It's just a sense of American pride, you know-how. It's impressive.
Wow, what a view.
Well, for us, it's family heritage. We grew up on the farm. We both drove this tractor a lot growing up.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've got the memories of working it, and it's keeping the history, you know, the farming heritage of America alive.
We made it! Hey, Jim, we made it!
Woo! We did, we made it! Great driving, woohoo!
I don't care what color tractor they were driving, everybody had a reason for being here. I mean, they were paying homage to their father or their mother or a friend. I mean, it just makes you feel good about all these folks.
And when we return, we saddle up with one of the best in the West.
He's taking out his frustration.
Oh!
Whoa!
Nice. He's hired.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal.
We are now a little over 100 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles in what is called the Santa Ynez Valley, and it's really just made up of lots of little small towns.
You know, Jan, each one of those small towns has its own unique character and some pretty cool big deals.
The town of Santa Ynez, population about 4,500, is a little bit of the Old West, just 2 hours north of Hollywood.
Founded in 1882, Santa Ynez was a stagecoach stop on the route between Los Angeles and San Francisco.
The cowboy culture has always been very strong here. Dates back to about the 1700s when the Spanish cowboys, or the vaqueros, arrived.
I like how you say that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and they brought with them a unique brand of horsemanship.
In more recent years, growing wine grapes has replaced punching cows, and Santa Ynez has become a popular tourist destination.
Wow, it looks like we're stepping back in time.
Kind of looks like Dodge City.
Yeah, Gunsmoke.
Matt Dillon.
Yeah, or Bonanza.
But through it all, one family has helped keep part of that Western tradition alive.
Juan Lara III is a saddle maker, just like his father and his grandfather before him.
So you are third generation
saddle maker.
Wow. Did you ever think you didn't want to do it?
You know, growing up, I never thought of it and just learned how to use the tools and stuff and got good at it and started doing it, and it was like natural.
Yeah, it's in the blood.
It's in the blood, yes.
Yeah.
The earliest saddles date back to about 500 BC. I mean, that's a while ago. And they were a little more than just a blanket with a strap, or girth as it's called, that goes under the horse's midsection.
And today's Western saddles were developed from the Spanish saddles brought here by the conquistadors, which were adapted by the vaqueros.
Man, I just love the way this feels and looks. I want one. President Reagan's ranch isn't too far, and he was a big horseman. Did you guys ever have any connection to him?
Sure, we did. I personally cleaned his English saddle he used to ride. My dad did a lot of repairs for him.
Okay, I'm going to touch the man that cleaned the saddle of President Reagan. And look at the tooling. I mean, that's like tooling on steroids.
Yeah.
And okay, some of them have suede.
Yeah,
So
some are suede.
That's easier to stay in the saddle.
Right, that's kind of, you stick a little, yeah.
You stick in the saddle. He wants the horn, he wants the ears, he wants the padding, and he wants the suede.
Pretty soon you'll probably want a seat belt.
Juan's saddlery is well worn and jam-packed with all the tools of the trade.
Now come back and I'll hit it a little harder.
It's a living museum of sorts where the old ways of doing things have been passed down from one generation to the next.
Juan, are you hoping to pass this on to your son too?
I do. I got a Juan the Fourth. He's only 11 years old, but hopefully we'll teach him, and if he wants to go for it.
Now, does he show any interest yet?
He does. You know, I have a 15-year-old daughter that has a little more interest in him. She's a little older, but
so she may be the one.
you never know.
What's her name?
Her name's Alina Lara.
Alina Lara.
You never know.
You know, custom-made saddles. You know,
And they'll be going, Juan who?
Yeah.
A custom, fully hand-carved saddle can take Juan upwards of 3 solid weeks to make.
So it's really a craft.
More about art, yeah.
He's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I think it kind of is, but I'll let Jan say that, right? There is something about making something with your own hands.
Yeah. The craftsmanship that they pass on from generation to generation, I mean, it's amazing to me.
Hopefully before we get out of here, we'll have you guys make a little something.
Not a saddle, I'm hoping.
Something a little simple.
We're going to be here a while.
Instead, Juan comes up with something a little more our speed. Yes, hand-tooled key fobs.
These are the key fobs that we're going to want you to try to do.
Emphasis on try. That doesn't show very much confidence in us, Juan.
I know, but I'm
He's
pretty
like,
sure
I know, but it's
I'm pretty
true.
sure you guys will be able to do it. So you guys pick out what you want to do here.
Oh, there's a cowboy. There's an Indian. Is that a turkey? There, that's for you. He's got a weapon.
A little better than that. See?
Yeah. I'm making a longhorn.
Go ahead, you get a little harder. That's good, let's see.
He's taking out his frustration.
Oh.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice.
Dang. I just want to look at it.
He's hired.
And I did it without your help. This is just like a miracle.
Good.
Uh-oh. That was crooked. No one's going to buy a saddle from me, Juan. Well, not so bad.
I think yours is better than mine.
No. I like yours. Juan, he's exhausted.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Nice. You actually both did good.
It's not quite in the same league as a Juan Lara custom saddle made with 3 generations of love and craftsmanship behind it.
You win for the best looking, and I win for the highest level of production.
There you go.
But hey, we all gotta start somewhere. Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal.
Well, Jan, you think you're qualified to make your own saddle?
Absolutely not. But Juan's daughter seems to be a little interested in following in her dad's footsteps.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
That's cool, yeah. I just want to say, in front of everybody, how proud I am of you for pushing past your fear of heights. I mean, that was a big deal going on top of the Mackinac Bridge.
I did it.
You did?
I only did it because you were already up there. And
I
thought, I can't check it out now.
I knew, that was why.
But I tell you what, leading the largest tractor parade in history across the Mackinac Bridge for a tractor lover, doesn't get much better than that.
You know, I just wish I could have been in front of you so I could have watched your face. But then
you wouldn't have been leading, so that wouldn't have worked. So I'm just gonna have to watch the episode to see. And we hope you liked the episode half as much as Rodney liked leading that parade. And if you do, just give us a like on Facebook and you can see what episodes are coming up next.
I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America.
Rolling? Wait a minute, Rodney, can you just back up a little bit?
Funny, funny. You're real funny.
I thought it was funny, come on.
Terry's gotta come.
You've gotta come.
He said something about he was going to strap you or tie you to one of the roll bar.
Yeah, I heard that too.
They wanted safety, so I said, well, we can put a rope around you to that roll bar. You'll be safe. You ain't going anywhere.